We've got some good shade. Want to point out a couple of inscriptions. Patty's leaning up against the first inscription, and she's going to be our model to display what we see there. It's weathered, of course, as you can see, a little bit dark, but you can still read on the first line, city of, right here, Pergumum. And then we see tone, proton, which means the foremost, or you could say the first, and dis neokoros, neokoron. We haven't talked about the neokoron. Neokoron was an honor that was bestowed upon cities by the emperor. It's a huge honor. They competed for this honor. And so dis means 2 times they were named the neokoros of the emperor. And then neokoron. And then its reference over here is to the place that we just visited, Thyatira. And then the Demos of Thyatira. This is an honorific inscription where the Demos is where we get the word democracy, okay? It has to do with the citizenry, okay? So the citizens of Thyatira have erected this monument talking about the koinonia, the fellowship that they enjoy with one another between these 2 cities. So it's an important inscription for a couple of reasons. Number one, they're boasting of the fact that they have been twice named as a neokoros, okay? And the other thing, you see the name not only Pergumum, but also the fact that they enjoy fellowship with the nearby city of Thyatira. Now, I also ask you to remember a word, and I've already forgotten that word, so you have to help. What is it? Oh, thank you so much. Stefano remembers. My memory is fading. I don't know what's the matter with me. But we have right here, autokratera. Of course, that has reference to the emperor. Kaisara, which is Caesar. And then Theou is the name of God. So we could say the divine Caesar, and autocrator, Trajan. And of course, this temple that is behind us was dedicated to the Emperor Trajan. This is part of the emperor worship that was going on. Trajan became the emperor at the very beginning of the 2nd century. Then this inscription is one of my favorites. Once again, you see reference to autokratera, okay, monarch, a singular ruler. In the case of some of the emperors near the end of the 1st century, tyrants. Trajan, incidentally, was an emperor to whom Pliny the Younger, have you heard that name before? Pliny the Younger wrote several letters to Trajan. Pliny was a new governor of Bithynia. That's where we just came from, okay? And he's puzzled about what he does with these Christians. And he says, this is what I understand to be our policy. So he's, like I say, a newly appointed governor, and he's writing to Trajan saying, these Christians, those people who persist in worshiping Christ, I've ordered to be executed. On the other hand, I've also given an opportunity for repentance. What's repentance? Okay, repentance is to give up the faith, that is to apostatize. And not Nero, but not even Trajan.
The emperor, whoever.
No, Pliny, okay, said he brought in statues of Trajan and of the Roman gods and offered them an opportunity to apostatize, to curse Christ, and to worship and to offer sacrifice to the emperor and to the Roman gods. Those who refused to do so were executed. So this is, again, this policy of martyring Christians that we've talked about previously. So this is the guy that we're dealing with here. Autokratera, son of Nero, Kaisara, once again, Caesar, Theou, meaning the divine Caesar. Tragiano, Aristos, Sebastos would be a reference to the emperor, Sebastus. Germanicus, a descendant of Germanicus. And then Dikaios would be the conqueror of the Dacians. So he's boasting, of course, about his military achievements and the fact that he's expanding the Roman kingdom. And then we have this statement here, ton geis kai thalassa, kurion. Kurion, of course, is a word that most of you recognize as pastors. That's the word Lord. It is the term that is most commonly used by the disciples to refer to Jesus. Okay, Lord. And what this basically says is Lord of land and sea. And so what Trajan is boasting of, and this is this is an honorific inscription by the people of Pergumum. They want to pump up and explain how much they are on board with Trajan because they realize that they're going to be benefactions that will be kicked back to the city so that some of the public construction will take place. So the emperor is boasting, Lord of land and sea. And of course, that's a challenge because for the Christians, we find that it's not the emperor who's kurios. Instead, it's Jesus himself.